Indeed, don't you ever forget that. Don't you ever forget that. What's going on, everybody? What's going on? 1 second, people. I've got my coffee rolling. Coffee ready. What's going on, Norbits? You all right, brother?
I'm okay, bro. How you been?
Yeah, I'm good, bro. Still frustrated, innit? But we gotta keep going, innit, bro? We gotta keep going. Do me a favor, people, before we start, hit that subscription button, notification button, the like button, and all that good stuff. Mr. Newton Beats is back on the team. Obviously, it's just gonna be me and him. Hopefully, we could pick up, where we left off, the last time, and make the channel even bigger than it was. So, please do me a favor, just do the usual, hit the subscription button, notification button, like one, like I always say. And obviously, we're doing a preview for the Ipswich game. Don't know much about Ipswich, you know what I mean? But we're going to try our best. But we're going to talk about Liverpool in general as well before we start that. We're going to do the tactics as well. And we're going to listen to the news conference of Arne Slot, the first Premier League one, and we could judge for ourselves. It's only 12 minutes. I think it wasn't even that long. So we could just talk about what he says and all that stuff and put our point of view forward. So, Nurabits, man, how are you feeling about, the situation we're at the moment, bro?
Yeah, it's not a good. How can I put it? It's not the best or ideal way to start the season with no signings. Signings, not just that what is it? It improves the team, but also it engages the fans and gets us excited for the upcoming season, builds our confidence in the team, and allows us to dream. Like, sometimes we've had a shocker last season, and Klopp announcing him leaving, and so we needed some sort of boost, uplift, and not buying anyone is probably going to lead to us thinking about Klopp a little bit too quickly. You know what I'm saying? Beginning of the season.
That is true, man. I miss him already, to be fair, bro. Like, the more things are coming out, the more you're realizing it's going to be a tough season. And I've heard, I think Born and Red, I think this is the guys, the guys who got a channel like this, Liverpool fans, obviously. They got Paul Joyce on there recently. And he said there's more like we ain't going to sign anyone, you know what I mean? Because Zubimendi was be or end all, apparently.
That's a shocking thing for Liverpool to bring in my man Slot, and then him to analyze the squad and only come up with one name is absolutely a shocker if that's the case. They should have had. One thing is, one of my complaints is like a lot of people used to on Klopp's final season last season would be this in his transfer policy of calling it a scattergun. He doesn't know what he's doing. He doesn't know how to do it without Edwards and blah blah blah. And 12 months later, we're here doing exactly the same thing, going for a player that didn't really want to come in the first place. It has echoes, and I've been scarred. I don't know about you, but when the Zubimendi stuff came out, I wasn't as enthusiastic like the season before because of what happened with Caicedo. I mean, I was talking a lot of shit on on the group chats. Everyone's in this mad group chats, families, friends, and then when it became clear that he's actually going to Chelsea, it was an embarrassment, and I thought, no way Liverpool can do this twice in a row. And they've done it.
Nothing ever changes, bro. You know what I mean? it's not even twice in a row. Like there's so many players we can talk about, but I'm not gonna keep going back to it. It's just the consistency of the same nonsense, which you could get you a league title, but you're not gonna go forward with it, if you know what I mean. And it really irritates me because a few times if we push players over the line, we could have been league champions, and this is what people don't understand why a lot of us are upset. You know what I mean? And it's frustrating. Edgar, big up, bro. Edgar, Ravenite, big up, bro. Big up, Football Sanctuary. Ravenite says, Jammy Banks got a win, for fuck's sakes. It is, bro. They are jammy. Let's be deserve to win, to be honest. It was a terrible game. Please like and obviously subscribe, follow fellow fans, please. We always ask for that. We're always, polite with that stuff as well. We don't, push out or anything like that. If Pereira could pass, would be a draw. I didn't see that bit because I was setting up the actual stream. Yeah, so
Fulham were poor. I thought like they broke a few times, and their last pass was just absolutely shocking. I was like a schoolboy passing. Schoolboy decision making was absolutely disgusting.
Yeah, it is what it is, isn't it? Listen, it's always, in the beginning of the season, you see things like this, but as the season goes along, Man United hopefully will drop, you know what I mean? But I say, listen, it's a long way to go. Paul Joyce pissed me off, obviously, what he said about the transfer. We can't do nothing about it, right? This is how it is. If we don't sign anyone, I think people should take it up with the owners. It shouldn't be, them getting away with it. It's just one too many. And I've always said it. Protest doesn't do nothing. We tried the plane over the stadium. What did that do? Did they change? They're still the same ownership that we had before. So what we need to do is do what Red Sox did, and get them on a stage, ask them questions, and at least we'll find out what their intentions with the club is. I don't know if you agree, Nurubi. It's like if we could speak to them, put like what he did with the Red Sox, ask him questions. Ask him why, are we not buying the right players at the right time? Are you interested in winning or not? At least he could clear it up. Then we could, if it's not the same ambitions as us, we just go our separate ways.
That's it. They should have some sort of a meeting with fans, broadcasted live, maybe on LFC TV or whatever channel that they decide to do it on, and actually talk to the fans and tell them what their plans are. Not specific plans, but your general plan, what you're hoping for the season, what your aims and objectives are, because we never hear from them. We haven't heard after this debacle. We haven't heard from Edwards either. We haven't heard from Mark. What's his name? Richard Hughes. Yeah. We don't hear anyone, and it always goes back to the manager, and the manager has to go fend off questions that he really is not in a position to really answer. Because why did you go for Zubimendi if you couldn't confirm that this guy was really into coming?
Exactly, bro.
He can't really say that because he's not the one that's contacting the agent. He's not the one that's talking to the agent. He's not the one that's organizing it. This is all coming under Hughes, and Hughes is the one that should explain his fumble. Now he gets to hide in the background and let the manager, get all the flack. Let the players get all the flack when some of them start dropping like flies, and there's not enough players, and then we've got little youngsters starting, and then the youngsters start to get the flack from the fans, and because they can't sustain the football
consistency.
The consistency, exactly. I know one player that they're probably going to start to the fans think about is, oh no, we don't need Zubimendi. We've got Nioni, and then put all that pressure on the 17-year-old. The 17-year-old. Imagine that kid should be growing and not be putting pressure on him. He should be getting 20 minutes here, League Cup here and there.
Yeah.
But now then all the expectation will fall on those guys, and it's not on.
Exactly, spot on, brother. It's hard to watch. You know what I mean? It's like you said. Like if you look at the team, you look at the bench next season, it's just going to be probably full of kids, and if you destroy those kids in the beginning of their career, it's hard to come back from that. We should be gradually like putting these kids in the team, not get them on straight away and put too much pressure on them, like Nurabit said, and then their career might flourish as we first thought. These are, you're talking about two people that actually plays football and coach football currently, as Nurabit is, and we see it for ourselves. You know what I mean? And yeah, it's a scary time because our worry, like we're going into the season with injury-prone players, and when you got injury-prone players that's unreliable, that we've seen throughout the season, what happens? You slowly decline, and not only that, the kids come in, and they might decline as well. So this is the scariest part of Liverpool at the moment. Apparently, our team isn't bad as we think, and no signings is possible. There you go, people. Big up Cap Sal, big up brother, big up Fozzy and New Beats. Yes, Hollywood, Liverpool don't know what they are doing. It's over, man. Like you got to be realistic. You know what I mean? If the likes of Paul Joyce is coming out and saying there isn't any signings apart from Zubimendi, then you got a problem. You know what I mean? There's no plan B, there's no plan C. In the past, if you look at Liverpool Football Club, what was their best players? Plan C and plan B. They didn't even take that option. I mean, it's a scary times ahead, man. It's a scary times ahead. Don't you agree, Nurabit? Salah wasn't plan A. You know what I mean? I don't know if Mane was, or the rest of the players that we bought. Even Robertson, I don't think was plan A. You know what I mean? I think they wanted to sign Chilwell, didn't they, from Leicester instead of like Robertson, and then I think Leicester kept him.
Exactly that. That's what we were expecting. If we went in for Zubimendi and he didn't, why would you give him? If you had no backup option, why would you even give him time to think about it? Because I can understand if you had a backup option, you can say, all right, you have a think about it, and then you could work on the backup option in the meantime while you're waiting. However, it just stinks of poor planning, because why would you go down the route of let's have a look at what the manager thinks about the squad first, and then just come up with one name? Doesn't make sense. If that was me and you at our jobs, they'll be like, why haven't you planned for the potential? What is it? If the potential of this person not coming in, contingency plans, what they call it. If you don't plan for it, then you're ill prepared, and so that should go even more hard for someone that's starting his new position and didn't start too good, man. Like that doesn't fill anyone with confidence. People that he's working with will be thinking this is incompetency, and even Slot will be like, can I really rely on this director of football to get in the type of player that I want?
Exactly, bro. It's a mess, man. It's a mess. This ain't Liverpool Football Club, bro. I said that for a while. Like, what I'm watching ain't Liverpool anymore, and we have to be realistic on that. Because Liverpool's always about success, and if you're not giving us success, what's the point? You know what I mean? You being at that football club, you know what I mean? So, yeah. As Revenant says, Paul Joyce is just parroting FSG's spin. There you go, man. Listen. They paid him a lot of money to come on that program. I don't know if you guys know that. A lot of money from what I've heard. So I can't believe Paul Joyce would be, telling lies about not making a signing, and Zubimendi is the only signing we're going for. So I think there's more to this than we first thought. Because plan B should be here. You know what I mean? Right now, if they had a plan B, you know what I mean? And what I've said is, Nurabits, if we don't get obviously the plan A now, obviously, which is Zubimendi, that's gone. I'm no longer going for, I want, what do you call it? I want, little ambition, like getting us small players here. I want big ambition now, bro. I'm no longer part of that fan base that's saying, just spend £30 million here, £40 million. I want to be as big as the other teams now, bro. because we gave them that opportunity to do that. You know what I mean? Little ambition, just buy £30 million here, £40 million here, £60 million here. And, we're not asking for a lot of money at the beginning. But now, because the disrespect they showed us, I think we should ask for a lot of money, bro.
100%. You can't argue with it. We've been patient. We've won the Champions League. This is what I don't understand. We won the Champions League by signing. If you look at it, we went to the final and then we lost the final against Real Madrid.
Yeah.
Then we went and became acting like a big club. So we signed Alisson. We signed Van Dijk during the January window. Fabinho, Keita, and is that it? Yeah, that was it. I think, yeah, that was it. And so the season after that, we went to the Champions League final and actually won it. So that should have informed you guys that you need to spend in order to get over the line. But then what happens when we won the Champions League? We get in Adrian, Sepp
Vandenberg, yeah, and Harvey Elliott.
Yeah, Sepp Vandenberg and Harvey Elliott. Two academy players are not ready to improve the team, and a backup goalkeeper. So that kind of showed that, yeah, these guys are more about just being in and around the top areas, so you can get the Champions League money, and maybe be relevant, as in you look like you're competing. But at the end of the day, you can see they're not really serious about going for it. And a team,
how am I? Sorry. Can you see me on the screen? Like, is it working?
Yeah, I can see you.
I don't know, man. On this, it's like I'm freezing or something like that.
No, I can see you.
Yeah, because I can't see nothing. Something's not right with the actual screen. If you look at the, yeah.
Ask the chat. Chat, can you see Fawzi?
I hope so.
Let us know if you can see Fawzi, because I can see him, but I'm not sure about it.
Yeah, your microphone's cutting out a bit sometimes, bro, as well.
Is it me?
I don't know. Like, you can see me now. I think I finally come back. I don't know, man. I don't know what to do. Yeah, so I think it's all right now. I could see in the screen because I got to look at the other screens as well. Yeah, so carry on. What were you saying, bro? Before I interrupted?
Yeah, no, but the issue is with Liverpool have shown us that when we're just super close and ready to just make that next step, that next investment, we always end up short and we don't do it properly. Case in mind is when we were top of the league in January. We just won the league. We're top of the league in January. We have 4 centre-backs missing.
Yeah.
Go in and get some quality in. And then what we've been told, exactly what we've been told this summer.
Yeah.
Oh, there's the right player. If we're not going for the right player, we might as well not go for anyone. And then we brought in Kabak on loan and some guy that really didn't feature at all. We sold him straight to Rangers after that. So that told us, also gave us a massive hint that they are trying to win or be relevant by playing this percentage games. What can we do with the least amount for the least amount of effort and get the biggest back for our buck? And that anomaly called Jurgen Klopp that used to perform miracles for them, it's no longer here. So we'll see.
Yeah, you're spot on, bro. Yeah, so sorry about that, guys. I don't know if my screen is like not good or something. For some reason, I can't. It keeps my internet keeps on playing up. But Capsal says Hughes fumbling his way through this transfer window, absolute disgrace. Listen, I mean, I think he's don't forget he's come from Bournemouth. You know what I mean? He's not going to be the most, glamorous, recruiter, that ever existed. There's one thing like coming from Bournemouth, and there's another thing going to Liverpool, and you could see like he's really, really struggling, because if he can't even get one player that plays for Real Sociedad through the door, can you imagine him like when we have to go for more players in the future? You know what I mean? It's like the worst part of it is he knows the agent of this player. He dealt with him before, and he's struggling with that, and that's what's making me like think: are you really as good as like Marco Edwards thinks you are? You know what I mean? Like this is a person you actually deal with. How are you struggling to deal? Like a deal like that over the line. This is what we need. This is the player you wanted. So he agreed apparently. So why did it take so long? And how did the outcome become like this?
Exactly. You know, me, I don't know about you, but when I see people hire people that they know, which Edwards has done with Richard Hughes here, how do you have a philosophy at the club where you go and get the best of the best in all fields, and then somehow end up recruiting your friend that you used to work with at Portsmouth? This stinks big time, man. Joe, like, what is it? The guy, what ruined Man United recently was exactly that, where they hire people that they know. I mean, if you spoke, you had Nuruddin on a few times, and he will tell you that it's jobs for the boys or the lads. They all know each other. These people at Man United, the backroom, the board members, and they would hire each other because they all went university together. Exactly. So if you do that now, hire your friends. Now you're not looking at you're looking at someone that would actually maybe agree with you, doesn't give you enough issues, right?
Yeah.
And not someone that is best fitted for the job, because you would have done exactly what you done with Slot. Go look at the data. Why can't you look at the data for that? Because we're always data people, right? So go look at the data for the best in class.
Yeah.
Regarding what is it, sporting director, and bring those people in.
Yeah, you're spot on, bro. Big up Uncle Rod as always. Please go and subscribe to Uncle Rod's. He's got a fantastic channel. He's killing it at the moment as well. Big up, brothers. He said. Big up, Rafi, as always. Big up, lads. Smash the like and subscribe. It's free, man. Like Morgan. Yo, there you go, bro. It's free, bro. It's free. Let's go, champ. Great to have a Nuri back. There you go, boy. So he's back, man. He's back. He's gonna kill it, man. Trust me. So enough about the same old story in the last few days. I had to get the point of view, obviously, of Nuri Beats, because we've never discussed it obviously live on air. So now we're going to move obviously towards the press conference. So we pick out the final details of that. So pause it whenever you want, Nuru Beats, and I'll pause it whenever I want, and we could discuss what Slot is saying as well. I'm looking forward to this, bro. Really looking forward to this.
Yeah.
He's our manager now. Let's go. Okay, let me look for it. Apologies, people. I thought I had it, but I ain't got it. Long day at work today, bro. So it's time to come back and do the real world. Yeah, there we go. Find it? Did I find it? Yeah, found it. Yeah. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Hopefully it'll be on. Oh, sorry, my bad.
I could see it. Okay.
All okay.
Good. You had the opportunity this weekend to become the first Liverpool head coach in the Premier League era to win their first competitive game in charge. So how are you feeling ahead of your first Premier League game as the Liverpool head coach?
Excited, of course, but there's nothing to do with what you just said. But I think after a pre-season, it's always, for a player and also for a manager or a coach, it's always nice start the season, because this is what you've worked for in the last few weeks.
I know you've been asked about transfers quite a bit during this summer, but I have to ask you at the moment, I mean, the fact that Zubimendi ultimately decided to stay at Sociedad, how much of a disappointment is that for you, and how likely is it that you are going to add to your squad before that the transfer window closes? I mean, we see the link obviously with Mamardashvili at Valencia now as well.
There are a lot of questions in one, but I said many times already that I think our squad is really strong, and it's not so easy to find players that can help us or can even strengthen the squad. And Zubimendi was one of them, to be fair, but he decided not to come, and then we go forward with the ones we have, and those ones have done really well in pre-season. So we're in a good place, and like I said many times before, we on the background, Richard is trying to strengthen the squad as he can, but unfortunately Zubimendi decided not to come, and he did every effort, he tried everything to bring him in, but if a player doesn't want to come, it's obvious that he then is not coming.
In terms of that squad that you have, what do you see as the realistic aims, the realistic targets once again for Liverpool Football Club this season?
I think at this moment the whole team stayed together. We lost Joel Matip and Thiago, and Adrian as a goalkeeper, of course, but the rest of the team stayed together, and that's also a very positive thing. We're always talking here about transfers, but it's also a very positive thing that we kept our players, and they're in a good place at the moment. I said many times already, Jurgen left the team in a good place, and we're trying to build from there. And last season was also a season where they could win a trophy with this team. So we're hoping and aiming for the same, of course, this season. But it's not going to be easy, because a lot of good and strong teams in the Premier League that also strengthen the squad. So, but we're looking forward to the challenge.
And on the theme of keeping players, Trent, Mo, Virgil van Dijk, any developments as regards their contract situation, and how likely is it, do you feel, that they will commit beyond next summer?
I don't think this is the place to talk about contracts, but I can assure you that they are in the squad tomorrow.
What do you think about, obviously he talked about Zubimendi and the failed transfer, but he didn't, go further with that he's going to go for another signings or anything like that. I think that's kind of sad. This is why I'm starting to believe what Paul Joyce is saying. You know what I mean? Because normally you say, okay, that failed, but we're going to try other possibilities. You know what I mean, Nurabis? And he's not even saying that. And he's been thrown under the bus, like the Reverend says here. I felt bad for Slot having to cover for Hughes. 100%, bro. Hughes should be in that press conference talking about it as well, in my opinion, when that bloody messed up. What do you think about that, bro? Because the way he's saying it is like, we're not going to go for another players, you know what I mean? Because you should be saying there should be explore other possibilities.
The issue is he knows that when you leave your transfer business so late, that it's not that deals can't be done, but then it becomes absolutely more tough, because no one wants to lose their players, like with two weeks, a week and a half to go before the transfer shuts, because they have to find a replacement. Yeah. So their strategy from day one of saying, no, let's let the manager have a look what we've got, rather than just the manager, when you've decided to hire him, you say, go away, watch Liverpool games here, and you tell us what you want. Like, how is it that we have to only see the players like live in training before we make a decision about what you need? Because you should have principles. You say, listen, I see Endo doesn't fit my principle. Can we move him on and bring in someone that we can get that can fit this criteria? 1, 2, 3. Can we get three players in that? If he can't get in plan B and then plan C, they did none of that. They sat on their hands. You saw what they said. Oh, we're gonna go for players like towards the end after the Euros and the Copa America and the Olympics. Okay, so why haven't you lined up 3 then? Because that would make sense. And then that team, whoever you was planning to take the player off, could decide and find alternatives as well, have their deals ready to go. But you've absolutely left yourself in a lurch now. No top team or no team absolutely that don't need to sell unless they're desperate for money.
Yeah,
is going to do any business with Liverpool with a week and a half to go and get rid of one of their best players just to help Liverpool out.
exactly. That's what exactly the words I said like before in the previous stream. I said it's too late, people. Like, we're not gonna get top players right now. No team will sabotage their own season to help another team out. And if we're gonna do that, we have to pay over the odds for a player. I mean, is the ownership capable of doing that? No. So we're gonna be stuck with these players that we got, and they're gonna say to you, give you that, reassurance, as we always say. Oh, we wait till January, and then we're gonna get some more players. Well, by that time, we could be out of the top 4. We could be, probably 8th or something like that because of the injuries that we have. But yeah, listen, they don't have enough. They don't think ahead, man. What is it? What did they say? Liverpool are not. They're not. What do you call it? They're reactive, not proactive. That's what they're saying it. So it's still continuing to this day, and it's never going to end the way it's going. I'm a firm believer, man. I don't think these owners are fit enough to be owning Liverpool, but they're just sitting in a club that's more beneficial for their pockets than any other clubs that they have, like the baseball team, and I think there's another American football team that they've going for or something. I think Liverpool is the only one that could bring a worldwide recognition to them. If you know what I mean, Mirror Beats.
Exactly. FSG is a special lot because a couple of years ago we had Arsenal fans complaining about their ownership, the Cronkies not doing much, and then his son takes over the Arsenal project, and now we're seeing them spending money every season. Even this season, I was expecting Arsenal not to go into transfer window and just say and do what we usually do, innit? And say, we've spent a lot in the last few years. This is the best team. Go for it now. We're a few points away from winning the league. But they didn't. They didn't sit on their. They went and got another centre back / left back. So they did Timber last year. Zinchenko the year before, and Tomiyasu I think the year before that. So they're just building, and then they got Declan Rice for £100 million. So Arsenal started to spend, and in that you saw the growth. Like that should be a key example. How did Arsenal leapfrog Liverpool in being the challengers to Man City? Is because they spent money and backed the manager.
Yep.
They did not sit back and say, "Oh, let's look for the ideal player. If he doesn't work out, then we'll just go with what we've got."
Exactly, bro.
And what happened last season? You saw what happened. Our title chase fell apart because so many injuries. We had to bring in the kids. And then when our players came back, they were offbeat. We had no one to take us by the scruff of the neck. Salah was out of form when he came back from his injury. Jota was out injured for most of the time. Gakpo came back also messed up. Dominic Szoboszlai was out of form, and that cost us. That honestly cost us the league. But if we had players that were an adequate squad that are built to challenge for 4 trophies, but credit to Klopp because he went from 4 trophies the season before last and last season. But obviously, what if you go for 4 trophies? You need to have a squad that survives that can handle those competitive games. We don't have that, and I don't think we've ever had that. We thank God that Firmino, Mane, Salah were able to stay fit for majority of Klopp's reign. Otherwise, it would have been peak. If Mane was injured, Salah was injured. What would we have done? We would have won nothing.
Nothing, bro. Nothing, bro. That's what I'm saying, bro. Try to rewire your microphone. I think you keep cutting out. I don't know if it's my side, but I keep hearing it cut out.
Okay.
Liam says, Liam O'Connor says, nice to see you, Fozzy and Nurabis. Big up, chat. Slot, the human meat shield, taking the 4-hour crap owners. Yeah, what can we do, bro? Like, this is what I say. I don't blame him for it. I blame the entire establishment because he's just new. You know what I mean? We could say Richard Hughes is new, but he's friends with Michael Edwards, so they should know how they work. They've been dealing with each other for the past, 5-6 years, or beyond that as well. I mean, come on, man. Like, let's be realistic here. It's a joke, man. Absolute joke. Let me just read some more comments before I go to the next bit. Where are we? There we go. Capsal says Hughes, Edwards hiding like Henry, throwing a slot to the Wolves. Disgusting. 100%, bro. 100%. It's about time. It's about time they woke up, man. LFC. Big up, man. Chikitika Mosala. Big up, bro. Big up. And what's this one here? Nayoni Sauce in the Adidas video. Yeah.
He smashed that one. Yeah. But look at that. It gets people to start to look for that kid in order to save our season, and it's not fair, honestly, on the kid.
Nah, yeah, bro, man. You can kill these kids, man, in the early times, isn't it, man? Guy, Liverpool at it has said from day one, Liverpool missed the Champions League. It's the season you missed the payment. Yeah, 100%. But FSG is using this against us with budget. That's what I said in my previous streams, Scottish Bay. I did say every time we get at the Champions League is when they start spending because they start panicking and they don't want the fan base to go turn on them. You know what I mean? As soon as we get back in the Champions League, they say we spent last summer. So while I'm talking about them as a group. I don't know what you think about that, Nurabis. Them as a group, they get together. Well, we got 4 players last season. We tried to get Caicedo supposedly, and it failed. But we still got 4 players. So why do we have to spend another amount this year? They look at the average age of the squad, probably 24, something like that. So in their mind, they're thinking, we don't need to spend. Questions for both thoughts. Yeah, 100%. What do you say about that, bro?
No, it's basically, I was just listening to a video on Ian Graham, who was the head of our data.
The one on Sky Sports. Yeah. Bits of it.
Yeah, and then he basically said that there was so many times that they wanted to go for a certain player. The data showed that that's the right guy. And what happens is that they don't manage to get the man. One of the guys that he said was Diego Costa. He was like, Diego Costa, we were close to signing him, but then he decided to stay. And they never tell you why he decided to stay. What was the stumbling block? Probably pay. Liverpool weren't willing to pay him what he was worth. And then a year later, he goes to Chelsea and smashes it, and they win the league.
Imagine Diego Costa, people, and Suarez at front with Sturridge. Imagine that. That could have been the season. That season, I think it was that season we just missed out on the league as well. I remember because they were going for him, I think in January or something like that, to get over the line. Diego Costa, Suarez, and Sturridge, Sterling, was it Coutinho? Yeah, I mean, all those, Steven Gerrard and Henderson, you know, I mean, imagine that. Imagine that team if they had that, and what we would have done that season. We would have scored more goals. Obviously, we conceded a lot. We could have scored more goals that could see us through the games. And not only that, those draws, Costa or someone else or Sturridge will come from the bench, and come on the pitch and score more goals. You know what I mean? To win those games. We've done something like that, and we decided not to do that. It's just a carbon copy of every time we're challenging for a title, Nuri Beats. When we need 2 players or 1 player to get us over the line, we intentionally don't go for it because it looks like they don't intentionally want to win.
Yeah, it's mind-boggling. It's baffling, to be honest.
Because you know, like, do you know what I'm saying, Nubis? Like, if you think about it, yeah, if you know your team is challenging for a title, January transfer window comes along, shouldn't you have a plan, you know, to get you to the next level, to get you over the line? Am I wrong here, or if you know there's weaknesses in the team?
No, you're not. Look, prime example now, yeah? And you'll see, use this as a case study now. Man City lost a youth prospect to a broken foot or leg. Oscar Bob fractured, I think, a bone.
Yeah.
And what comes out the next day is Man City are looking to go into the market to alleviate the stress that losing a player in his position has created. They don't sit around and say, "Oh no, we've got Savinho that can come in." Nope, very ruthless. We go get someone. Boom. And if you watch Man City's documentary, what was it called again? You know, the famous one where Guardiola's going crazy.
But yeah. Having got Mane and Salah,
yeah, that one. You basically see them in January just discussing, all right, what can we do? How can we improve? Who's this player? And they're looking at the player and they go, okay, if we can't get him, who's next on the list? If we can't get him, who's next on the list? And that's like a winning mentality club.
Yeah.
And look at Chelsea, bro. How many players are they signing? And you're telling me that we got to stick to this rules about spending and what have you. What award do we win for being stringent and sticking to the rules? Because we're not getting anything out of it. If everyone else is bending the rules to their will, and we're the ones saying, "Oh no, we do it the right way," or "We do it the Liverpool way." What is the Liverpool way? You got to survive. If you don't want to survive, then I can understand. You know what I mean? Yeah. But it's frustrating, man. It's super frustrating. This is the first year I've honestly, this is the first time I've had enough of Liverpool's propaganda or the FSG propaganda.
Yeah, bro, because you see it for what it is, isn't it? You see it for what it is. I've been warning people for years, you know what I mean? It's the reason I say what I say, it's not like making up stories. That's what people always say. Stop making up stories. You know, you're not a Liverpool fan. If you don't want to support us now, go and support another club and all that bullshit they keep coming out with. It's years of learning, you know what I mean? Years of watching Liverpool and the progression we make and the non-progression we make. You know what I mean? That's what it is. And this is how I see FSG. I've always been FSG. Not from the moment that they've taken over, but after that, when I started realizing these people don't want to like win because you're always in and around the title, but you never get the team to push further to win the title. Why are you doing that? Is it going to affect your pocket? Because you know what they say, bro. If an ownership don't want to do that, it's because they know the more success you have, the more you have to spend. You get what I'm saying? And this is what they don't want. And it's the truth. It's the truth. Like their baseball team says it all, bro. Every 5 years, innit? They start spending. Every 5 years.
Yeah,
go on, carry on.
Yeah, no, just exactly. There was a Boston basketball team, but you know the basketball team, Boston Celtics.
Celtic. Yeah.
There was a fan who was basically hearing about news that Fenway or FSG could be buying Boston Celtics, and he was like, "Hell no!" The reputation that they've got now with the Red Sox, nobody likes them. They don't like to spend, and they sell always their best players. And so what you're seeing now as well is a continuation of that. If Trent, Van Dijk, Salah don't sign a contract, you'll see the same patterns happening at Red Sox because they don't want to pay their wages because they've established a certain reputation. We don't want to pay those wages. Go to Saudi or go to somewhere else that will pay you those wages because you're too old for us. This is
Yeah.
the mentality that they're going to come out with, and they'll sign maybe 1 or 2 players next
Yeah.
summer, make people think, oh, look what they're spending, but really you've lost now 3 top world class players, and maybe even Allison, because as you can see, they would never sanction a 30 million euro signing of a goalkeeper
Yeah.
if they're not planning to move on Allison next year.
Exactly, bro. Ravi says, question for both, thoughts on how Liverpool control games and maximize the possession that we have. Um, what can I say? From what I've watched since Slot has taken over, we've improved to what we do now is we win the ball higher up the pitch, Ravi, and not only that, the players haven't understood how to keep possession yet, but they're trying. I think we keep possession better than under Klopp so far. But this takes time, innit, Mirabis? It can't happen straight away. This will take time, and eventually it'll be a normal thing for them because they are used to being under pressure and having issues when they're under pressure. Like you see Curtis Jones when he's playing as a DM, when someone's on him, he's already shaking and he loses the ball, which leads to an attack, which almost leads to a goal. So this kind of thing needs a long process of practice, and this is what they need. I don't know if you agree with me, Rubis.
Yeah, no, 100%. You can see that they're trying to change. They're trying to not be so too quick with the transition. So if something is on, it's on. But I think what Slot is trying to bring into them is not every ball should be going for the killer pass. Let's keep the ball for a bit and let's recover on the ball. So that way we're not killing our energy too quick. But one thing he does emphasize is that once you are in good positions, then go for the killer pass. Because you saw, like, we scored 2 identical goals against Arsenal and against Seville, where he baited the press. Arsenal pressed the goalkeeper, long ball, drop it down for one of the midfielders, through ball straight for the third man run.
Yeah,
that's one point where it shows he's not like a Guardiola. Because I know Guardiola, I don't know if you was watching it last season, that so many times they could put Haaland through, but they never do.
they never do.
They're just doing their little tick-taka, and he gets frustrated. I think there was one game in the Champions League he was getting frustrated because so many times they could have slipped him through, but they didn't, because that's their philosophy. And I think I'm a bit more of a fan of a Slot style like that, where when the killer ball is there, you go for it, but not always try and go for the killer ball. Let's recover sometimes. We've run with a lot of intensity. Let's recover a little bit, save our legs. And that's where maybe a little criticism can come from Klopp's style, where he would go full on ham, where he would press heavily and also then attack heavily.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, and that's why we probably used to get a lot of injuries. So hopefully this saves us a lot of legs for the long season ahead.
Yeah, man. I think I'm having internet issues, bro. But we have to soldier through this today. So I don't know what is going on. But yeah, let me go back to the screen. Big up FC Alex, man. Cop Connections thoughts. Yes, thank you for sharing that as well. Please go and follow Cop Connection, people. They're more or less like us. You know what I mean? They talk about the same things, and they have their frustrations. Like there's certain fans that don't want to be negative. They think the negative is what we talk about. Buying players, which is it's not. This is what you expect from a team. You know what I mean? And this is what Liverpool should be, striving to during the season. If you want to improve, you improve the squad. That's what you got to do, man. And they don't want to do that. Definitely a horrid start from Hughes. Mate, I think he done it too late. I think he should have started a while ago. Doing it end of August shows me that you're not even interested, in signing players. You know what I mean? It's purposely done. Because don't forget, this player, guys, he rejected Arsenal and Man United before us. I mean, so it was a tall task in the beginning anyway. So yeah, listen, man.
And
It's
it's not even a good look. If we do sign that goalkeeper and loan him out straight to Bournemouth, it does not look good on him because it just looks like, oh, you're just doing favors for your old club.
Yeah.
And it might not be favors for you, but that's how he's going to look now. And that's the pressure
Yeah.
that he's put upon himself.
Yeah, spot on, bro. Spot on. Hang on, let me just go for one more comment before we go back. I'm going to read your comments, guys, so keep it coming through, man. No problem, man. No problem. I think it was... there you go. Guys, hit the like button, subscribe, share us all over socials. We also might be linking up with the playback soon. Evolution key is yes, free. Nice one, bro. Nice one for that, man. Appreciate that, mate. Appreciate that. Chicken tikka masala. Oh man, I like that. Okay, let's go back to obviously the interview. Pick up whatever we can because we don't want a long one today. Let's get back. There we go.
You're welcome.
I know when you're coming off a pre-season that's been so analysed, intently watched from the outside, how excited are you to get the first game underway that actually means something?
For me, the games in pre-season meant something as well, although you don't get points for it, but I think it's important to prepare the team for the Premier League. And now we are excited to start the season against a promoted team that did really, really well in the last few years under their manager. And it's interesting to see what's going to happen tomorrow.
How hard is it to prepare for a match against a team that have had a 22-year absence from the Premier League?
Not harder than if you had to prepare them for a team that was in the Premier League for 22 years, because we also saw their games from last season. We saw their games in pre-season, so I don't think that's more difficult than if they would have been in the Premier League for a long time. It is true that a newly promoted club, there's a lot of positivity around a club like this. So it's. As people told me, every game in the Premier League is going to be an intense game, and there are no easy games, and that is something what we can expect tomorrow as well. A promoted team that only had a lot of positives in the recent years will come up against us. Really looking forward to it, but we are really looking forward to the game as well.
Arne, what excites you most about this big job ahead? You come to Liverpool after establishing a reputation in Holland, but one of the biggest clubs in the world, playing in the best league in the world. You've got the Champions League to look forward to, challenging hopefully on four fronts. What sort of excites you most about it all?
I don't think excites me the most is the right word, but as a manager, wherever you are, you try to do the same thing. You try to implement your playing style to the players. And fortunately for me, a lot of this playing style the players already knew because
check the message, bro.
And we try to adjust where we can to improve the team a bit. And this is where you're constantly working on, and that gives me and my staff a lot of energy because the players have a lot of energy and try to implement the things we want and try to keep the things the same like they were. So that gives energy to us as well, that the players really buy into it and want to make the best out of what we're trying to reach out to them. Is that present to them? That's maybe a better word.
And we've heard from a lot of the players pre-season saying how excited they've been by the slightly different ways that you're going about things. How far down the line is the first team squad at the moment to the adaptation process that you and your team are trying to bring in as to where you want them to be now?
I think everywhere around the world in pre-season, everybody is really positive about everything. So, but it's a good thing that it's here as well. How far are we? I think I said many times already that we're not changing everything. Actually, we don't change that much because many things were really good. So then where are we? I think it would be perfect if after 4 or 5 or 6 weeks of pre-season you're already close to perfection, which is very difficult to reach perfection. And some of them only have been in for 10 or 12 days. But like I said, many things have stayed the same and the players have stayed the same as well. So we are ready for the game tomorrow.
What do you think? What he says, bro, like about the nothing has changed at Liverpool Football Club compared to the previous regime. You know what I mean? Like, he's gonna play probably the same. Like I'm expecting 4-3-3 or something like that. What do you think? Like what he's saying? Because but the thing is, what I like about him as well. When I was obviously in Philadelphia, when I heard him speak, he said like during the games, I don't mind changing formations if things don't go right. Does he do that at Feyenoord as well?
I think so. I think he's one of those guys that's adapts to what's happening in the game. Doesn't really sit too long if things are going wrong. Doesn't sit there too long and think, okay, our quality will tell. For him saying that we don't have to change much, I'm guessing he's slowly embedding his style. He doesn't want to make a dramatic change too quick, because if you change it too quickly, then the players will start to doubt how can I, or they might lose confidence in not being able to play out the back. And when some of our players get flustered, like Alisson Becker, he gets flustered at the back, he will definitely when his cheeks turn red, that's when it's like, okay, he's too.
Oh, you know what I miss? The Alisson that used to play. Remember when he used to come? Like it's like you already know when you look at Alisson, he means business. Remember when he used to put his hair backwards and all that stuff. Like when he wants to win a game, he's gonna have a war in the pitch. That's what I miss, man. Nowadays, with Alisson, you're right, man. When he gets flustered and all that stuff. I think what it is. It's like it's down the years, isn't it? In the last few years, it's been tough for them, innit? Because they haven't won the major trophies, so. They don't want to make that mistake. So even his kicking sometimes, isn't it? His kicking is it's not that good either. But I miss those days, man, when Alisson used to put his hair back and then he means business and all that stuff.
Yeah. So I think he's
go on.
No, yeah, exactly. I echo what you said. He's exactly just trying to, because it's one of those. The style is like a little bit the Zerbi-esque, where you hold on to the ball at the back, invite them to come to you, and then quickly play through them, play through the press. And that takes bravery, especially, and it also takes, knowing where your teammates are. So if you haven't practiced it a lot, that you're bound to make mistakes. Anything 100%. New that you learn, there's always going to be mistakes in the beginning, teething issues. And that's why we've got to be a little bit patient. And I feel sorry for him having to just go in like that, because he wanted someone to dictate from a DM position, someone that's calm on the ball, and someone that doesn't get flustered with people around him. Do you see?
Yeah.
Zubimendi was supposed to be that guy, but they should have known exactly. When you're going to acquire a manager, you say to him, listen, what is your number one no-go, like your go-to thing that you require ASAP, so we can get the ball rolling straight away. I don't know, man. It's very, very, very.
Do you think they failed the manager because they already knew before the summer who the next manager is gonna be? Should the recruitment team be prepared for the new season, knowing what we need? Do you get what I'm saying? It's not like you need a rocket scientist to tell you what we need. We need a DM, centre back's gone, and we probably need another winger on the right side. That's what I think. I don't know if you agree with me.
100%.
Knowing that, shouldn't you just go through with it before the season starts? Make those negotiations so you can make it easier for the manager. Because at the end of the day, it's not like the manager is the head coach is completely inept. It's not like he doesn't know anything. They will ask him before they sign those players. We've got this player. We think you need him because you haven't got this type of player in your team. What do you think? And I'm sure Arne Slot is smart enough to understand. He's 45 years old, so he obviously he was a technical player as well. He was a number 10, so he knows what's around that. If you know what I mean, technical players they know their surroundings. You know what I mean?
100%.
So even as a manager, if you look at him at Feyenoord, what I've seen is like he has DMs, he has attacking midfielders, he could change games and all that stuff. So shouldn't they brought that to him in the beginning? Like what players that he needs in that team?
Yeah, 100%, bro. Nobody nobody just says blindly, look, let me have it, because this is a bit of a spin when they say, let me have a look at the players that we do have.
Yeah.
That's a cop out, to be honest. I don't think that's real. That's basically more of a spin to keep us patient, or keep us, looking the other way. Because any top manager, for example, if you're a top manager, you already know a set way of playing. You know what type of player you would require. You don't need the player in front of you in training for you to say. Maybe some of the young kids, he might have said, hey, let me have a look.
Yeah.
Who that he hasn't seen play. Maybe those kids he might want to have a look at. But majority of the players he's seen play.
Yeah.
Endo is a completely different midfielder to Zubimendi.
Yeah.
That tells you that he, from day one, he wanted someone in that ilk. You're supposed to give him the options to this is the top target. This is the number one with the best stats, the best whatever, best passing stats, best under pressure
Under pressure
player,
on the ball, yeah.
on the ball, and this is the second best, and this is the third best. Which one would you like? And then he can do an investigation and then say, okay, let's go for this one. And then if it doesn't work out, we'll go for this one.
We'll go for that
have
one.
him as a background. And then if not, then we'll go for this one. That's what and I think these guys have wet the bed, because you've got a new guy in Richard Hughes that's not used to the pressures of delivering a player. He's used to going for a player, the player saying, "Oh, Bournemouth, nah, I don't want to come." Okay, I'll give you 3 days to think about it. Come back to me. That's what he's used to.
Yeah.
You're supposed to go to a guy with like loads of contacts, loads of a massive reputation in Europe, where as soon as he sits down with a player or his player's agent, they are, oh, this is serious business. I can't mess about with this guy, because if I mess about with him, all my other clients will never ever get an opportunity to go to Liverpool Football Club.
Spot on.
That's the kind of threat that he should be having, but he doesn't have that, because nobody's really dealt with him in the big stage. He's got, like, the lower leagues, maybe the up and coming players, maybe, but nobody is really scared. And if Liverpool are saying we're hiring the best in class in every department, why are you hiring someone that you know rather than someone who's the best at what they do?
Spot on, bro. Spot on. Bro, read the comments. Let me pick out some more as well, please.
Yeah. City looking to buy Pedri or Musiala to cover Bob's injury, and City looking to sign Rodrigo. That's the difference between City and Liverpool, to be honest. When Liverpool were getting, this is the difference. When Liverpool were getting Nunes, and everyone was like, but what? Haaland's available. Klopp goes, it's impossible to deal with Haaland, because we can never go for that, because the club's style or business philosophy doesn't allow us to get a player like Haaland, or doesn't allow us to get a player like Mbappe, or doesn't allow us to get upcoming players like a Musiala. Musiala in the 10, Musiala in our 10 would have been like a match made in heaven. But in Liverpool, they're like, no, we want to uncover. This is the philosophy that they've been selling to us. We want to uncover the next Musiala. But how many? It's been how many years since? I think Trent is the only one that graduated, that became like a top player from that academy. How many times are you going to be waiting? Maybe in the only now that you're putting your hat, your hopes in him. But yeah, it's a bit getting.
I'm giving you the messages, bro. So go for it.
Yeah, go for it. A chicken tikka masala, mate. Next summer we tried PR machine. Exactly, this is going to come out. It's already happening now. We tried. Like he even said it. Look, there's nothing he could have done. He tried his best. Blah blah blah. And then when we don't win the league, then make sure that you lot are not pushing the players, like, or putting too much pressure on the players, because they tried as well. They tried their best, but they couldn't, because you didn't help them. People like experienced players like Van Dijk are coming out with, yes, we do need help. We need new signings to go on to that next level, to help us through injury crisis, to go help us through the congested fixtures. We don't know how the Champions League is extra. There's extra games now in the
Extra
Champions
games
League.
now, yeah. Extra games.
And so now like 1 or 2 players are out in that midfield. We're going to be starting to struggle.
Yeah.
So yeah, you'll see that. He says it was Torres that turned me, bro. I hated them after the letter leaked from Henry to Gordon, laughing about using LFC as a cash cow. Captain Sal says, you don't get a trophy for being the first one to call out the owners. We just want more fans calling them out so they can go. Yeah, that's important. Listen, I know a lot of people, like, we get this divide between the FSG out, FSG in, or the guys. So people are not less of a fan when they want to have accountability, keep these owners accountable for what they do.
Yeah.
If we just blindly allow them to do anything that they want, you'll see that Liverpool will be what you're going to wait for Liverpool to be in 18th, 16th before you can hold them accountable. And it's important to hold these owners accountable in my book. I don't know about you, Foles, what you think, but there's a way, obviously, not like when you abuse the ownership, it kind of gets misconstrued and the message is lost. But if you want to hold them accountable, you can do so by just calling out some of the inconsistencies that are within their language. Oh, Liverpool, we're aiming to be the best, but then you don't hire the best.
You know what? You killed it with that one, Nurabis. I swear you killed it with that one. It's like you said, if you need the best recruitment team, you get the best recruitment team. You don't do mates rates recruitment team like Uncle Rose says, and you're 100% right. This is what the direction that we've gone. And now, like they always say, like whatever you got in life is a resemblance like what you have around you, innit? So if you're getting these type of people, it's a carbon copy of the team that you have now, and the way we play, the way we look, the way we present ourselves to everybody. And that's what I see. That's what I see when I look at Richard Hughes. He's more of a Bournemouth kind of recruiter than a Liverpool recruiter. When you're going to Liverpool, you need the best of the best. I mean, look what Man United recruited. Look what Arsenal recruited. Look what these other big teams have recruited. Man City never step away from having the best recruitment team, do they? The best analysis team. You know what I mean? The best at everything. They don't stop. I mean, money talks. I mean, if you give the right money to people, they'll come. I mean, but we don't do that, bro. We just sit back and let the other teams get better. And when they get better, they go above us. Like I said in my previous streams, bro, we're conceding right now, people. Like Arsenal can get players ahead of us now. And Arsenal are in the same situation as us. I mean, they've got American owners that's not rich as as Man City, but they're still competing. They might have not won the league, but they're trying. Like Nurabit said, they needed Rice, they got Rice. They needed Kai Havertz, they got Kai Havertz. You know what I mean? They needed Calafiori, they got Calafiori. You know what I mean? Whatever players they needed, they got. I've always said it in football terms. How you win, you start from the back and you go all the way to the front. We don't even know where we're going to start from at this rate. You know what I mean? Our players are aging. You know what I mean? We've got Van Dijk. He's one injury away of not recovering for a long, long time. You could say the same about Salah as well. But read some more messages, bro. Man, these guys are brilliant, man. Thank you, guys. Honestly, bro.
Alexander De Los says, when he said Zubimendi, it hurt him. It did, man. It's like he goes, didn't want to come. What do you mean? I got told that he wanted to come, but now you're telling me he didn't want to come? Richard says, we need reinforcement, strengthen the squad. We need players, manager, and a director of football by merit and worth their job. We need a DM, left centre back, and a proper 9. Yeah. That is the key. Like, you got to be. Dare I say it? Look, yeah, I'm not a person that abuses players. That
I know you're not, bro. Yeah.
But the football game is a ruthless game. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And I'm starting to find that out recently because I've got a young son that plays and he's going trials here and there, right? And it is so brutal.
Telling me,
It is so brutal, yeah. Even at their young ages, like if you're not good enough, you're told, yeah, your son is not good enough. Your son needs to work on this, and that, and it's there. Like it's quite ruthless. And Liverpool should be that kind of club. Like if 2 seasons we've given you and you haven't produced the goods, we should be able to move you on. Let's try someone else, because that's enough data for you to go on. There's no point. Oh no, we can't get the same money for this player anymore. We need to keep him for what reason? I don't understand.
Mm-hmm.
Move them on. I'm a person that a player, like in my head, a player shouldn't rely on a player more than 5 years. As soon as about 5 years you've done with a player, then you might need some fresh blood, because that player needs new motivation. He needs probably a new environment, new goals.
But the thing is, you're spot on. I'll tell you why you're spot on, bro. If you look at Liverpool's success with Bill Shankly, obviously it's a long time ago. I understand people, but I think those people were ahead of their time. That's why I bring them up on a continuous basis. What they did was they bought players for cheap. You know what I mean? That's similar to the players that's ahead of them. So in a young age, like you said, 5 years, that's the maximum. They still have a resale value. So what you do is you teach those players that's similar to them, that's going to take over eventually, buy them for the cheap, because you're going to obviously scout them. And then, you get them on now and again until they learn their role. And then when it's time to get rid of that player, the 5 years, like you said, you bring them on, and it's like nothing has changed. Do you get what I'm saying, Rubies? Because that's how Liverpool used to do it, bro. I swear. People, if you ask the older guys on here, they will vouch for me. That's how Bill Shankly was successful. This is how Bob Paisley was successful. And that's how Joe Fager was successful. And that's how Kenny Douglas was successful. They used to do the same things like that. Buy them cheap, put them in the reserves, and then let them learn from that player they're going to take over. That player still has a resale value, which is probably in the equivalent of probably 30, 40 million now. And then you get rid of him, that player takes over, and you have money in the bank to go again. Do you get what I'm saying, bro?
That's exactly what we've been told that FSG is all about. But unfortunately, you're seeing the complete opposite of that. We're not. It
will suit them though, Nuribis. That's what I'm trying to say. It will suit these owners.
Exactly, it will suit them, but it needs a level of investment in the beginning, because in the beginning you want to get like the top, like kind of like what Chelsea is doing. They kind of scattergun, but Chelsea are going after the young upcoming players, roughly around 20 million each, and stockpiling them. Yeah. But if we were, I don't think like 90% of the fans would complain if Liverpool were getting. So 3 years ago, Salah, we know the level that he was at, and then we bought like maybe a 20-year-old to eventually take over Salah, and that 3 years was the 3 years he needed to learn off him how he plays, how Liverpool plays, and then now seamless transition, as you said. Salah can be let go, and then this guy can come in. But Liverpool are not doing that right now. You can see that we haven't had a Salah replacement. We haven't had. We tried a Mane replacement, but we haven't been successful so far. We've done 2 over on that side, Diaz and Gakpo. None on the right side. None at all on the right side. And which one? This one is, which is everyone is complaining about, is the DM. We've been saying since
3 years ago.
3 years ago that we needed a DM to eventually replace Fabinho. We could see Fabinho's legs are starting to go. We tried with Tuchemani, we didn't get. We tried Caicedo, didn't get. Now Zubimendi, we didn't get. 3 years in a row of getting not getting the player that you required in the position. It's absolutely a travesty for a club on the level of Liverpool. Liverpool's level should not see 3 DMs reject them for another club. Liverpool should have that pull, should have that clout that I improve at Liverpool. But majority of players probably saw, Liverpool is good. They the footballers are a tight-knit community. So he'll say, I've got a player that's on Van Dijk's national team. Let me call him my friend. He'll ask Van Dijk, what's the prospects in Liverpool? are they looking to get better? And he says, I don't know, bro. I have no clue. We needed a DM last year and we didn't get it. And I don't think this club is serious. And this is how it talks, and that's how players get to know. And it's like, I don't want to waste. I don't want to waste 2-3 years hoping to compete and not win anything. I want to compete straight away. Like the football is it's a quick game, and people want to play that as don't want to waste their careers. You know what I mean?
Exactly,
So,
bro. Yeah, there's your mate. Yes. Big up,
Yes,
Chris,
full
man.
class.
Big up, brother. Big up, brother.
big up, Grizz.
Yeah, let's go all the messages. We're gonna finish soon, guys. I mean, because we need to do the tactics soon, so get ready, people, so you can put your starting lineup. But go for it, man. Go for it. This one. Anfield.
Yeah,
Big up,
Anfield.
Anfield.
Yeah, Anfield Ross says, question for Fozzie, no beats. We are all wrong with the old saying, work with what you've got, or are we underestimating the talent that's grown a year together? This squad is still better than most. No, there's no doubt. There's no doubt that the squad is better than most. But you're looking here to try and keep up with Arsenal and Man City now. Like, we were the ones that were keeping up with Man City. Now we've dropped one because we dropped the ball with regards to, you know, keeping the squad competitive. And now you might see us drop one more time because Chelsea are, all they need to do is get the management right. They get the management right, then we could be screwed in that situation. And then Man United now are trying to change their structure. They're trying to get a team together that handles recruitment properly, and then they go to another level. If we don't match that, then we'll be like 5th, 6th place, where our net spend shows us where we're usually at. We're like about 5th, 6th in regards to net spend almost all the time.
You know, smaller teams that like spend more than us. You know what I mean? And that's not right, man. What's the next comment, brother?
The next one is,
I think it's Steve, you know, Steve Bear. I think you guys never see it. Hang on, let's go for this one. Yeah, I think that's the one.
okay.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's the one. Okay.
Yeah,
Steve, you guys.
Go on, bro.
Sorry.
Go on.
Steve, you guys have never seen it in Scotland when the fans don't want the owners. They don't show in the home games and force them out. Both Rangers and Celtic have forced ownerships out. Yeah.
There you go.
Liverpool did show that if they want a change to happen, it can happen. Because I remember when, you know, they put the ticket prices up to a ridiculous amount, fans walked out of the stadium, and that was symbolic. They quickly did a U-turn on that because they saw that if this gets momentum, we are screwed. And this is the same ownership that freaking lied to us, saying, yeah, we're actually looking for a new, like, we're looking to sell, and then got us every single one excited and said,
including
nah.
including Klopp, don't forget.
Including Klopp, yeah. And then said, nah. And I think that's, honestly, you saw how tired he was, especially when he announced that he was leaving. You could see that it drained him. And majority was just trying to keep up with Man City on a budget like that was not viable, man. Yeah, it is what it is, man. Steve here says local brainwashed fans have been brainwashed by FSG propaganda machine. They need to wake up and start the FSG out protest, and then fans from the UK will turn up in their thousands to support them. You don't need to be an FSG out. You could be an FSG accountable. Let's hold these guys accountable. Like, they are billionaires at the end of the day. If you don't hold them accountable with some sort of like repercussion, I think they'll just continue to do whatever they want to do.
Exactly, bro.
Alexander De Los says, big up Slot looks like a kid that went to a candy shop and there was no good candy. No, he was more like, you know, it was like he's won the lottery by coming to Liverpool, yeah? He's like, wow, yeah, what am I going to spend my money on for? Can I get that? Nah, you're not allowed that. What about that? Nah, you're not allowed that. What am I allowed? What's the point of me being here if I'm not allowed anything?
Oh, it's crazy. Yeah, guys, we're gonna read your comments. Don't worry, man. Don't worry. Here we go with Steve again. He's saying my internet playing up again. FSD hacking me. Yeah, they're at it, man. You know what I mean? They could do it from far away. Oh man. Chicken tikka masala, man. I'm not gonna read about Grizz, man. Come on, bro. Come on, man. I'm not gonna read about that. A top red, you call him a top red.
Nah, Grizz is not a top red. He's more of if you see him, he's more of a understanding and accountable fan. He's not gonna rant and rave about it, but he is holding an opinion of if we go into the season with no signings, FSG ownership, Hughes, Edwards all need to be held accountable.
Yeah, 100%, man. It will all have to be like that. This one's from Ravi. Question: how do we cope with this longer format of Champions League with our squad? I don't think if we're gonna go into the season like this, Ravi, I don't think we're gonna cope, bro, because we're forgetting we've got consistency with injury-prone players, and this is what we're going in with. I mean, it's never gonna change. You know what I mean? It's not gonna be a miracle. You know what I mean? It's not like previous seasons that they've been like there from the start to the end. This is why I'm worried. This is why I'm panicking. You know what I mean? As a Liverpool fan, some people might accept the team for what it is, but I'm not going to accept it because I don't think you deserve it. I don't think Nurabits deserves it. I don't think Grizz deserves it. I don't think Chicken Tikka Masala deserves it. You know what I mean? Or Steve and Ravi and everybody. I don't think we deserve things like that. We're the most patient fans in world football. We're the most loyal fans in world football. We outshot everyone in even the away stadiums, but we get this treatment and we have to sit back and say it's okay. It's the wrong way, man. It's the wrong way. All this positivity people are doing in other places is because they've got their own agenda. I'm here for my football club. I don't know about you, Nurabits. I'm here to support Liverpool Football Club. I'll be positive, I'll be in the middle, and I'll be angry. That's how I am. I'm not going to be staying in one position and say I'm a Liverpool fan and accept it, like other people. I can't do that, bro. I have to be, all three.
Yeah, because that's being critical. Like someone that's when good times are here, you'll celebrate the good times. When the bad times are here, you'll say this is our bad times. When it's a mediocre time, you'll be like, this is a mediocre time. That's someone that's honest with himself, not someone that's angry for no reasons. There are people that's when it's going good are just angry still. Oh, why can't we get Mbappe? We're not that. We are people that just call out the ownership or whatever they see as it is, and then expect or demand accountability.
Have you ever seen it? Have you guys, Liverpool fans, if you remember as far as the Moores family, yeah? Have you ever had these moments with the Moores family? Because I can't remember ever having that. Listen, they took the Moore family was half owners in the 70s and late 80s, and they took full ownership from I think 1991 onwards. And then the two Cowboys came in, destroyed everything and all that stuff. But at least the Cowboys bought players, you know what I mean? But I can't ever remember when the Moore family was here, us not spending money during the transfer window. I can't ever remember that. This is the only time I've had issues with us not spending. I swear. No joke, Nurabits.
Yeah, like same. I think there was a point where under Bill, what's his name?
Gerald
two
Julio?
Cowboys where under those two Cowboys
Benitez.
Yeah,
Benitez?
had to sell Alonso in order to improve the team, and they were basically forced him to say, listen, you need to sell someone in order to get someone in, and then he tried to gamble with the guy from Aston Villa, but didn't work out, and he went Man City, and then
Gareth Barry,
and we ended up with Aquilani instead.
That's
so that's the only thing I can remember, but not with the Moors. You're right, with the Moors,
I can't remember.
Spending. We might have spent wrong, but they were still spending. Yeah, we might have spent on silly silly players from time to time because
Yeah.
you've picked the wrong manager to succeed Kenny Dalglish, which was
Graham Souness.
Souness.
Yeah.
Yeah, Souness.
And Roy Evans should never been a manager at Liverpool because he was just
Yeah.
a nice guy. He was just a nice guy, man.
Yeah, right.
So
Yeah.
never should touch that team, you know what I mean? But unfortunately, he did.
Roy was
Yeah.
a fun time.
Yeah. Some more comments, bro. Like if you want to go through with it.
Yeah.
I've got you.
Yes, Ravis's question: how do we cope with this
No,
longer
we've already done
format
this.
Champions League with our squad?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, we've done that.
I
Such-
don't know. I already spoke to him. Anfield Roar.
Where's the one? Anfield Roar. Old football ownership used to be simpler, spend or sink. Nowadays, it's profit clubs like ours make these owners not spend. Plus, none of it is their money anyway. It's all clubs' profit. Yeah. I think the issue is that Fozy had it on the head was that if they spend, and what happened is when we won the Champions League and won the Premier League, then now it's stay on top by buying the best of the best, because you can't go below the best of the best to stay on top. And I think that's where they shrank and said, yeah, you know what, we can't do the best of the best. Let's go back and restart this project so we can build a whole new team from scratch. And then it's not working out now. It is definitely not working out now.
Solo says the positive ones are the how do you say it? The positive ones are the for their own brands. Oh, they if they own for their own brands, yes, they won't speak up. 100%, bro. 100%. You know it, Solo. I don't need to explain that to you, bro. Everybody has their own way of thinking, and if you're not, the thing I hate the most, I don't know about you, Nuno Beats, is when you're trying to share your feelings, your emotions to the football club, you get these people that say to you, support another club if you're not happy with the state that we're in. What do you think when people say that, bro?
That's like you being part of an organization and you're there to improve it or at least have the intention of having a good work environment, and then you say, listen, this and this and this is wrong in our organization, and they say, well, if you don't like it, go get another job. So you don't want to improve. Or if you're head of a household and you see something going wrong in your own household, you shouldn't fix it. Just go get a new family. It doesn't make sense. It honestly doesn't make sense. If you see something, and let me address it head on, because I know a lot of people, fan channels that have access to the club are automatically compromised in the sense that you can never be super critical because you can never bite the hand that feeds you. If for example, this is why I said, if I was invested, like for example, if Fozy, there was an investigation on him and then they appointed me to investigate him and I know him, that investigation is automatically like compromised because it could be biased. Because I know him, I could me knowing him or the love that I have for him may affect me doing the job critically and being critical and ruthless. So when and it happens with all humans, it doesn't mean that these fan channels are really bad or evil or they're doing it on purpose. It's natural. Like, I'm not going to criticize the people that's giving me access to. So tomorrow, if I'll give you an example. If tomorrow FSG were to come to me and say, Mo, here's a job, analyze it for LFC TV, our games, and we'll give you free tickets every day, and we'll pay you this much. There is no way I'm going to call them out because I've been compromised. I've got a stake in it now. I've got something to lose if I do call them out.
Exactly.
You see, one guy which is quite good that has been offered it, I think a lot. is Saeed TV, where he's been offered a position at MUF TV, whatever they call it. And he said, I can never be critical again against United if I do take this opportunity.
Look at that.
And he won't be able to be critical because he's going to have to keep
You're under that bubble. You're under that bubble then, isn't it?
Yeah, because you can't. It's natural. It's. I don't want to offend anyone because I'm part of them now. Do you see?
Yeah.
And I don't want to offend anyone. I know everyone. Like, if I've met them, imagine you've met them. You're getting interviews with these guys. You're meeting the players, and then suddenly for you to go on a video and say, "Hey, Van Dijk played so shit. We should get rid of. I think he's losing his abilities." You can never say that. You can never say that now because you've met the guy, you've had laughs with him. It becomes a bit, difficult to criticize those people. So they've got. We have to understand that we can't take their opinions on ownership and spending all of that. Maybe you can take the other stuff from there where they interview players or whatever. Enjoy those, but you can never take being critical and demanding more from the ownership because naturally they're compromised.
Exactly, bro. Liverpool is way too big for Fenway, but I think they are trying to take us backwards so that they works again. Yeah, 100%, man. This is what they want to do, and then people will say, "Oh, they saved us again," and all that nonsense they always do. That's what it is, man. It's always been like that with these people. They're glory hunters.
If you talk about where we in the end want to go to, there are still a lot of things to improve. But I think if I'm here for 3, 4, 5, 6, or 7 years, I will still give you the same answer that there are a lot of things to improve because it's impossible for players to reach perfection. We're always aiming for this, but there are always ways to improve the team.
Thank you.
Hi, Arne. In terms of Trent, can you talk about where you see his best position and your plans for him?
I think a position for a player is always related to the team, and it's also my aim to bring the best out of the player. But the first aim is to bring the best out of the team, and it helps if you also bring the best out of a player. Then, so Trent is known for playing as a right fullback for all his life, I think. And when he was a youngster, he played at midfield. And in the modern game, you see a lot of fullbacks going into the midfield, and that is what he did last season once in a while. And I saw him playing in the Euros at the midfield. So I think he's capable of playing both positions really well, really good. And then it's up to me where I think he could help the team the most.
I like this guy. I really do,
You
man.
are the only Premier League club who hasn't.
Don't know what it
really
is.
signed, and
Something about.
There is an argument that if you don't strengthen,
Genuine.
then you are weaker than maybe you were before. How would you view that argument?
That argument I don't understand. If you don't strengthen the team, you become weaker. That's a bit weird because normally you would either stay the same or. And I truly believe that the training ground you can help players and the teams to improve, and that is also what happened here in the recent years. That the training ground really helped the team to improve. So maybe what you mean is if the clubs around you do strengthen the team, then maybe they become better. But it's not always true that if you bring in new players, the team becomes stronger. Because I also believe, in general, that every player in the team needs to have perspective on playing time. And if you keep bringing players in, sometimes the energy in the group goes down as well. So, but like I said many times, we, and with me I mean Richard and me, are trying to strengthen the squad. And if we think we found someone, we try to bring him in. And then and then unfortunately the one we thought could help us said no. But we're thrilled. On the background, Richard is still trying to improve the team, but my main focus at the moment is fully on Ipswich.
Anna, there's been a lot of speculation about Luis Diaz this summer. Can you say what is the situation with him, and is he someone you're counting on for the season ahead?
When I walked in, I said it was a screen from Sky Sports. I said it's the whole day. It's about talking about football, so that there is a lot of speculation constantly in this country. That is clear for me. So it's not a surprise if I hear you saying that it's also from Luis Diaz. Is there any player where they don't talk about, or a few? Okay. His future is with us because I like a lot what I've seen in the last 10 days that he's in, and I saw the same last season. So he's had a big impact on the Liverpool seasons, and I'm hoping that he has a big impact in the upcoming season as well.
Have you got everyone fit for the weekend?
Yes, we have. Yeah.
Anna, Darwin Núñez was coming into his third season as a Liverpool player. He's had an up and down time. How do you get the best out of him? Because when he is on it, he's pretty unstoppable.
I thought you said first, but you said third.
Yes.
Yeah. I thought then we have made a signing, but your question was?
How do you get the best out of Darwin Núñez in his third season at the club?
Bring him as much as we can into scoring positions, but again, I think every individual benefits from team performance, and if we as a team can bring our attackers, not only him but also the other ones, as much as we can in dangerous positions, these players will score goals. That's also what we've seen in the preseason, where we even scored goals out of smaller chances. So it's up to us to bring him or Diogo or all or other attackers as much as we can.
What do you stand on the Luis Diaz, brother?
You know, I kind of feel sorry for him. You see that like he's come to a club where there's going to be constant speculations, and he's like, why you keep asking me about players? And he's baffled, man. He's like, what have I walked into? And this is what's gonna happen. You put pressure on the guy now. You haven't signed anyone, and he's gonna be having to fend off questions about transfers and who's coming in, who's coming out. And that's all he's going to have to deal with, and he's going to be like dealing with it. But with regards to Diaz, I'm of the opinion that we should sell him, only because look, he's a fantastic player, wicked 1v1, beats a player easily. However, he lacks one thing, which is that his decision making. I don't think he knows what he's going to do next. Yeah. So it's impossible for the players around him to know what he's going to do next. Is he going to cut in? Is he like, if I'm overlap him, is he going to play me through, or is he going to cut back in? And so that hesitation causes a lot of issues. And I think we lose a lot of situations because of that. Mane was very, very clear. Whenever he needed to play someone in, he'll play them in. Whenever he needed to shoot, it'll be clear. There was like a method to his style. But with Diaz, I think he's just, you can tell he's a street footballer. That's his background. He hasn't really,
yeah, that is it.
Yeah, he hasn't really developed like a team playing philosophy.
Do you miss that competition in the play, with each other within the team back in the day? Like if you look at the team back in the day, everybody had a competition. You know what I mean? Robertson, Trent, Matip, and Van Dijk, Wijnaldum, Henderson, Salah, Mane, Firmino with everybody. Do you think that's what we're missing? Selfless players that that motivate each other on the pitch, because that's what Klopp used to do back in the day. What I loved about that team? What Klopp used to do, he's a smart guy, very intelligent. I don't think many noticed it. He used to buy captains. What do captains do? They take instructions easily, don't they? That's what he used to do. Like if you look at even at Dortmund, Mainz always buys captains, because with captains you don't need to repeat yourself. You say one thing, they take it on board, and then they go out there and win games. And that's what I liked about that team, because everybody was pushing each other on the pitch. And that's how we became world champions. That's how we became Premier League champions. That's how we became Champions League winners in a Super Cup and FA Cup and League Cup. You know what I mean? Because everybody knew their role, and they knew they can't drop. You know what I mean? And that's what you need in every team. If you look at Man City, bro, I asked a lot of people in the past, how many world-class players can you name in Man City? They say maybe De Bruyne. De Bruyne obviously is declining, but they say De Bruyne it's always like that as well. They just try to think about the other ones. Why does that happen? Because Man City don't have world-class players. They play as a one. Do you get what I'm saying? I don't know if
Yes.
it makes sense what I'm saying.
Yeah, 100%. It's basically they're not like individually. They're not reliant on individual players to win their matches. Probably got like the spine. I think they've just got the spine. Keeper, Diaz, Rodri,
De Bruyne.
Haaland, and De Bruyne is declining now, as you said. But that's what they've got, and the rest is interchangeable. They can change this player for that player if it's not working.
Exactly.
And that's what we had to have, the best in class in probably all positions, and then play out of their skin. Like as you said, leadership. One thing that the old Liverpool had was that they were ready. I think a lot of teams used to say it was so difficult to play against because they were very physical with you. They could play that physical game, and they can play that slick football whenever they wanted. So
yes, sir. Yeah,
they were like, I always say, you know, when people say, why do we get bullied all these days and stuff? And I would say it's because you saw that what Mane would do. You know how our kickoffs are, kick it off, pass it back to one of the defenders, and straight long ball to one of the fullbacks, the fullback area. What would Mane do the first thing most of the time, especially against the big teams?
Put it on him.
Jump in with an elbow,
with elbow.
put it on you.
Yes.
So that fullback now knows not to mess with Mane the rest of the game because I'll give it to you as much as you give it. So the kid is like, the players will be like, yeah, I gotta be wary. As soon as Mane left, we're not getting that anymore. You're seeing these guys clamping us. Like I remember it was the season we went to Old Trafford, and Martinez went and clamped Salah straight away. The first thing he did.
And giving him, that kind
and
of
giving
face.
him a stare down.
Yeah.
So that was not met with retaliation. If you don't meet that with retaliation, that means you're not really ready to fight, to compete.
There you go, bro.
And so that's what we were missing. Those dogs that needed to fight. But yeah, as you said, Diaz is a fantastic player to watch. But in the modern game, it's not about individual beating your man and that's it, but you've got to have an end product to it. You need to either set up someone or you need to have a shot on goal. And sometimes you see him in both worlds. Should I shoot? Should I not? Should I pass? Should I not? Should I cut back? It's very, very, very confusing. And
it's got a lot of work. But the thing is, how can you improve when you're hitting 28, bro? Like it's too late to get
that's it. That's it. Exactly. I think Liverpool tried to gamble and say we can teach him to be a little bit more direct, a little bit more decisive with his shot creation or passes. But I don't think it's worked. I think he's just too into, like, it's natural for him. It's pure natural. Like he'll just cut in, go there, come back in, and there's no end product. But so I would
there's some more messages. Yeah, it's true. There's some more messages, bro. I'll put up for you.
Yeah. Sorry, was it? Remember that we lost our trophy because of injury. Right now, we're trying to copy last season behavior. It's too bad. Yeah, I still haven't forgiven FSG for that summer we lost all our centre backs. For those you know, with FSG, give a quality left back, number 6 striker, we win the title. Also, give Arne a centre back, wide attacker. Arne wins the quad. Over to you, FSG. That's not going to happen though. That's the thing. That's with the way they operate. And sometimes, you know, fans are vindicated because what they do say, what fans are called out for, 2-3 years later, the club admit, we should have had the centre back. We should have got that.
When it's too late.
So, exactly. Ravi says, question, thoughts on Jones, McAllister, Gravenberch being shoehorned in the number 6. What do you think?
No, to me, none of them. You wasted their talents. You know what I'm saying? the Jones is never going to be a number 6. That's number 1. Let's just be honest, people. Like, he's not good under pressure. You have to be good under pressure to play that role. And you know, you got to be you got to progress the ball at the same time as well. He might be good at running with the ball, but the thing with Jones is he holds on for far too long with the ball. He doesn't know when to release it, and that's always the issue with Jones. And he's never learned. You know what I mean, how long do you have to wait for him to learn that? I mean, he thinks you have to be a superstar using his little body and all that stuff. He's gonna, it's never gonna work in the past. Why is it gonna work now? Go on.
Yeah, facts. Because I said this. Do you remember when we beat Porto 5-0 or maybe 5-1 at their ground, and he gave a good pass into Salah. He dribbled with the ball and gave a good pass to Salah. And I said, if Jones can learn when to release the ball at the right time and not hold on to it too long, he will be a phenomenal player.
Exactly, bro.
It's been 3-4 years since then, and he still hasn't learned to release the ball. Pre-season, I was seeing 1 or 2 times, 3 times maybe, against Arsenal, against Man United, that he held on to the ball a little bit too long, got dispossessed. They had a shot on goal, and I was like, I don't think he's suited for that 6. Even McAllister, I don't think he's suited for it, because he's always thinking of the killer pass or that very risky pass. And a number 6 that play like a deep line playmaker, which what Zubimendi is, and the type that Arne Slot is looking for, is 90% of the time is just going to be the safe pass. Not to say that it's going to be a sideways always, but it's the obvious pass. And in that, there's discipline as well, because not everyone's got the discipline to go play the simple ball always.
Exactly.
And someone that keeps connecting that and calm under pressure is what he's looking for. And Gravenberch has got traits of that. You can see he receives the ball extremely well
in tight areas.
But again, he's very more thinking forward. He's not a guy that's content with just.
He played well in pre-season, but pre-season can manipulate people. You know what I mean? Don't forget the other team ain't gonna be trying as hard. But when the Premier League starts, you're gonna get people trying to break your leg, man, and things like that. So let's end
into promising positions for.
Read the message while do the tactic board.
And like all the others, will score their goals.
There you go. He's done out here. Let me do the tactic board before we get out of here. So let me take this one out. But carry on with the messages, bro, if you can.
Yeah.
Yes, if some more.
Solo says the positive ones are there for their own brands. They don't want to speak out. I think we did that.
I think I read that one.
Steve says, I will make my judgment on FSG Edwards Hughes Ward action this summer when the window shuts. Yeah, that's a good way to go. Question for Fawzi Nobi: do you believe as owners they're gonna have slots saying I'll work with what I've got? I think any opportunity for them not to spend is not a good. I think the whole point of hiring someone like Slot was because of that. I remember they were telling us that part of the reason why they liked Slot was that he can work under a budget, and he can improve players without buying anyone. So that's one of the reasons why they went for him. So I guess that's normal for them. That's
I hope everyone can see that.
Mo Salah says Liverpool is way too big for Fenway, but I think they are trying to take us backwards so their model works again. That's interesting.
Yeah, very interesting, bro. Big up to everyone. Thank you for the chat, guys. I swear, I appreciate all of you guys. You came through for us as always. I know there's a lot of streamers at night. I know Liverpool fans are doing it all around YouTube, but I appreciate all your support, guys. Honest to God, man. Okay, we know the goalkeeper, don't we? Let's start with the goalkeeper. You already know who it is, of course.
Alisson.
Big boy. There you go. Right back, the usual.
Yeah, Trent.
Centre back. I'll give you the ones in it that you already know.
Virgil, yeah. And I think it might be Kwanzaa, yeah.
So I can find him. What about left back?
Left back, I'm going for Simicast because I don't think Robertson is fit enough yet.
Okay. Do you like this? Like this? Do you think like we're overcritical on Simicast, bro?
I do. I think people like judge him on the traits that Robertson has. And if he doesn't do what Robertson does, then we kind of like mark him down for it. But I think he's a completely different type of fullback to a Robertson.
Yeah.
He's more of a ball playing left back rather than just running up and down with energy.
Yeah. DM, or are we playing double pivot or are we playing
Yeah.
4-3-3?
Yeah, we're playing a double pivot. And a lot of
Yes.
people they think, because I remember when Slot said I do play a 4-3-3, which he does. Is just that it's flipped. Instead of a 2 8s, he has a double pivot and one on top rather than the other way around. And he still has the wingers out wide, so they're not like a free in midfield. They're still out wide, so it's still a 4-3-3, but kind of flipped.
Big up, brother. Big Anfield, bro. Love the show, guys. I'm gonna spread the word. Thank you, man. I appreciate you, brother, man. Well,
Big up, big up.
just to let you guys know, the channel finally gets paid. You know what I mean? It's not gonna go in our things, but our pockets. Or we're trying to like, every fan that support us, we will try to help you guys as well. So just keep coming, man. Just keep coming with that stuff as well, man.
Can I also give a recommendation? Support the channel, guys. There's your comments are obviously so much appreciated. Also, we're looking to start up like a membership where we can reward you guys with membership videos, maybe even playing FIFA or the new FIFA with you guys. Question and answer session with the loyal supporters to give back to you guys, and also competitions as well, like to win Liverpool shirts, maybe tickets to Anfield as well.
Yeah.
So support us, and we can push it back for you guys. We'll just
spread the word for the channel, man. That's all.
That's
I mean,
it, guys.
we're trying our best. We're trying our best for you guys. You know what I mean? We want to be unique. We don't want to be like other channels. We want to be, something that's different from everybody else. So support the cause, man. The other DM?
I think Gravenberch would be having in the season.
Did you like him in that DM position against Seville?
Yeah, I liked him because he could receive it in those tight areas without panicking too much. It's just that he has tendencies to be risky as well. He's got a risk element to him. He's not just the safe pass kind of guy, but he's used to be. To be honest, if you go back to Ten Hag's Ajax, where he had Gravenberch, he played him in double pivot, and Gravenberch absolutely played fantastically well in that position. But he was more of a McAllister's double pivot, because McAllister's got the license to go forward a little bit higher than Gravenberch right now. But he had that, and he absolutely schooled Henderson in a game where we played Ajax, and he was fantastic. He caught my eye.
Is this when Kudus scored that goal in the top corner at Anfield, or are you talking about the one away when we won that game?
No, it was Anfield. I think no fans. Remember when no fans and Onana made that mistake and Jones scored?
Okay,
yeah. It was that game. He played fantastically well. Super game from him, and we were being linked with him. Remember, he was on the same level and hype as Bellingham. They were like Bellingham and Gravenberch, and he just had that unfortunate ACL injury that just delayed his progress.
Yeah. Richard says, all of you are wonderful people. Big up, Richard, as always, bro. Appreciate your support.
Big up, Richard.
Richard says, Solo P1 is a great YouTube channel. 100% people, go and subscribe to Solo. Man, he's a brilliant kid. Well, brilliant young guy. I don't want me to call him that. And he's very knowledgeable Liverpool fan, and he's passionate, man. Go and subscribe to him. He's right there. I'll get his link for you guys, and please subscribe to him. I appreciate that. And support him when he's on the channel, man. This is what it's all about. supporting Liverpool fans in every other channel. You know what I mean? And every chat in it, every chat helps, bro, doesn't it? When people chat to people, and back and forth, it's the thing that makes people look forward to do another one and another one, and another one.
Exactly. Engagement, guys. You engage, it helps the channel improve, and it also allows us, the more support you give, it allows us to improve the content, improve the videos for you guys, and then eventually also give back to you guys with either, as we said earlier, with competition for you guys to get shirts, or maybe even contributing to the channel as well.
Yeah, man. Well, we're not joking about things like that. You know what I mean? You can see I got a lot of shirts. You know what I mean? I'm a collector as well, so I can get more. If you guys want me to. This is Solo's channel, guys. Yeah, please go on P1. Go and subscribe to him, please. Yeah. Yeah, take the chat over, bro.
Yeah, Solo says Jones is injury prone in my opinion. He has been having like long niggles here and there, unexplained injuries, weird injuries as well, eyes and stuff like this. So yeah, he's lost a lot of time. Chicken Tikka Masala says, chat, have you seen a worse transfer window than this? I seriously cannot believe how bad this window is and contract situation. Yeah, man, it is honestly sad. It's like Liverpool have become a butt of jokes. Even I saw Pete, what was it Domino's Pizza taking the mic on Twitter the other day, and I was like, rah,
I swear someone said PSG took the piss out of Liverpool as well for not spending. I've heard this somewhere. PSG players were laughing at Liverpool basically, and I remember was it Asensio when he called I think Courtois or someone Karius or something like that.
Yeah.
Remember that?
Yeah. I remember he was. I think one of their goalkeepers.
And who's at PSG now? The same guy. So he hates Liverpool for some reason, bro.
Yeah. It's tough.
Who would you put in the free role?
Personally, I wouldn't have Szoboszlai there. I would put Elliot, but I know Szoboszlai is gonna probably get ahead of Elliot because we saw in the Seville. I think Seville game showed us who's gonna be the starters, isn't it?
Yeah. So Szoboszlai.
So yeah, Szoboszlai.
Dude, what do you think of Szoboszlai at the moment, bro? Because he's getting a lot of criticism. You know, what I mean, they said like they even gave him the 10 role in preseason, and he's not even grabbing the game by the scruff of the neck.
Yeah, I think he's misprofiled. I don't think he's a midfield player that can play in between the lines, to be honest. He has got attributes as in where shooting and driving with the ball.
Yeah.
But he doesn't have the back to goal ability. Scanning. You saw the games against United last season.
Yeah.
So many times he had like no one behind him, and he would just pass back straight away because he hasn't really looked behind him. He didn't scan, and because he's missing that attribute, there's a lot to be desired from his game. But not to say he can be taught like it can be a utility player that's got attributes to actually give us ways out. Especially like you saw the goal against Seville where he passed it to Diaz. Yeah. That third man run is his bread and butter.
Yeah. Obviously Diaz, right? On the right, on the left, or you want Gakpo? Yeah.
Personally, I will take Gakpo, but obviously I don't think he's fit because they have to check their fitness levels before they come back.
Yeah.
And Diaz is a little bit ahead of him right now.
Were you like, when you watched the Seville game?
Yeah.
It looked to me when I watched it, because I was there in it. So it looked to me the football club was playing still the same way that we playing with Klopp. You know what I mean? Because the players didn't obviously come back on time. So I don't think the manager wanted to scramble their brains. You know what I mean? He just said probably to them, play the way you play against the old, play the way you played with the old regime, and then I will put my thoughts towards it so I could see what I could do, because Trent was still inverting. I think like he was playing majority of the game. It looked like to me that's a Klopp team rather than a slot team. I don't know if you agree with me with that one.
Yeah, no, 100%. A lot of people thinking Like they get ahead of themselves. Slot ball is. To be honest, it's got the DNA and imprint of Klopp still in there. He even said it himself that certain situation he still needs his game being
assessed
played.
in it. Assessed. So
Yeah,
assessed in it or something. Like that.
Yeah, exactly. And the only issue that he's having is he doesn't want to, as you said, fry their brains too early because they're used to a particular way. He didn't have a preseason with them. Because usually in the first 2-3 weeks of preseason, it's pure training on what he wants and what he wants to see, and you can get all of that in. But I think 90% of our team was out until like a week ago, 10 days ago. So to implement a whole change would have been crazy. And I think Klopp even had that kind of mentality as well. Whenever he signed a new player, he never instructed them to do crazy whatever. He just says, okay, go play your game, and then we'll adjust it from there.
Who's your striker, bro?
Jota, the slot.
So it's more or less the team that started in the last game.
Yeah,
so.
I think that's it.
Bro. Just read the messages, and I'll talk about. I'll show you what they're gonna do in this game. I think there's some more messages. Everybody's hearing it, so we've got to read their stuff.
Was a chat. Sorry, we read that one. Pay the toll. We didn't even get the keeper. I had what? Damn.
He's talking about Mama Deshpeli, innit?
Yeah. Okay, fan needs to stop believing anything journalists on FSG's payroll. As Joyce, Ornstein, Lynch, Pierce, Ready. They're not on their payroll, but they do get fed certain things whenever FSG do want things out. And I think that's what the mistake that they did was when they went for Zubimendi, they should just been silent and not brief anyone until that guy signed on the dotted line.
But haven't you ever seen our transfer windows, bro? Like everyone we announced before we signed, we never get.
Yeah, exactly.
Has anyone noticed that? Or
exactly. Where you like the ones that do come is like, you remember the Fabinho
under the
one?
radar.
It's like, hey, Liverpool been linked with Fabinho. 2 days later, he's signed. What? That's how it. It happened with Gakpo as well and Luis Diaz.
Yeah,
those three were
Szoboszlai.
Szoboszlai was done on the Thursday. It came out, and then Saturday it was a Liverpool player.
You look at Fekir, you look at Tchouameni. Those are all announced. Bellingham for years. They've been saying Bellingham's coming. And for years they said they were coming. Never came, man. All the marquee signings, the ones who are cream of the crop, we very rarely got. I think we only bought one world-class player under Klopp, and that's, I think, Thiago, isn't it, really? But Thiago was never fit. I'm talking about like before the players became world-class afterwards at Liverpool. But I'm talking about like, did we ever buy world-class players, in a transfer, apart from Thiago, that you could remember?
Exactly. Thiago was the first and only established player that we were like, wow, Thiago chose Liverpool. And that's been mad for a long time. Alfred Ross's biggest worries, we do lack steel in the middle. I'm concerned of our lack of ball winners in there. We have got lovely ball playing midfielders, but our ball winners missing. Someone that possesses that ability to read a game and stop counters like at source before it even begins and stuff like that. I think that's what we're missing.
With Trent, man, I just want him to do this again, bro. Like, when him and Robertson used to do this, I really, really miss that. You know what I mean? And I don't see that anymore. Salah can do his stuff, you know what I mean? And, go out wide as well. You know what I mean? But this doesn't happen that often anymore, bro. Like, it's like we have to force them to do things like this. And I shouldn't be doing that. But with Gravenberch, if you look at him, what I liked about him against Seville, he covered that area. And not only that, every time he got the ball, he was running with it, bro, and going forward. He was composed. Whenever he was under pressure, he always felt comfortable. That's what I like about Gravenberch. But I want to see him when the Premier League, is at full throttle. Can he handle that kind of pressure? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
When players are on you, you know what I mean, from every direction and coming at you from here, there. You know, like is he able to handle it? I don't know. I really don't know. I really don't know because with him, he's a slight player, bro. He needs more
Yeah.
meat. He needs to eat more. You know what I mean? If he wants to play in that position, look at Fabinho. The only time we won the Premier League, people, is when we had a decent DM. Have you guys noticed that? Like, a big DM that doesn't take any shit. If the old saying, and he makes that crunching tackle if he has to.
Yeah.
You know what I mean, and things like that. And not only that, Fabinho was a great creator of chances as well. You know what I mean? Technically, he was sound.
Yeah, 100%. A lot of people like his footballing ability was so underrated. They just thought, oh, the guy that can read the ball well and is a good DM. But you saw that if you look back at the big games, he was a creator, not just with his passing, but also with his touches, his first touch into space, where everyone thought, no, this guy's not going to do that, and then he just does it, and then boom, we're on attack, or he does a chip ball over to
that's the famous chip. I missed that. I really missed the famous chip. With Soboslai, people, I don't know if you guys noticed. When I watch Soboslai, see, I got a tactical board, my friend. I got it back, man. So passing it. So if you look at Soboslai, hopefully I could do that thing. I don't know if it's working. Let me get it back up. So it should work. He covers this area. What I've noticed him in the last game, what I liked about him, he was in around this area. And not only that, when the ball was sorry about that, when the ball was going back around this area, he was always going back to win it back as well. So his energy actually helps him. If you don't mind me saying that, Nuruddin.
Yeah.
But the thing is when he's under pressure with the ball, he struggles, and it's this side of the game he's struggling with to make that final pass. To on the runs.
Yeah, exactly that, and that's one of the things I appreciate you, folks. You nailed. You've got that hit that nail on the head because you see his final ball and not. It's not sometimes like most of the time the final ball is like behind the player.
Yes.
And never like in front of him. Especially when you do a through ball, you don't pass behind the player. Yeah. His sideward passing is quite good, but when he needs to do that forward pass,
like that, it does. So Salah could run onto it. Or,
exactly.
That pass that Jota can run into as well. But it's very rare he does it, bro. Like, or if he does it, it's overhit. Do you get what I'm saying, bro? It's overhit or something like that.
Yeah.
And this is what he needs to do, man. Like, I thought he was that type of player. Are we misjudging him, bro? Like, do you think we must judge this guy?
I think so, because the way he was played.
Are we asking for too much? Yeah.
I think the way he was played with Leipzig and his country, Hungary, is that he's expected to do a lot more. So he would try and take the responsibility himself and dribble his way through things. Now he's being asked to rely on players and facilitate for them or give them opportunity to pass to them. He's starting to struggle with that because I think that's a part of his game that he's lacking.
Yeah,
is that passing ability.
I honestly think he's just got this hard work mentality for some reason, bro. Like he thinks he has to do hard, run up and down the pitch, and up and down. He forget like he needs to do what he normally does, which is be calm on the ball, make the right passes to Salah, make that through balls to Jota so he could run through on goal, and tap it in, and pass the right passes. So Diaz, like if you pass the ball in the box here and Diaz comes in, then nobody can touch him. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
That means if they touch him, it's going to be a penalty. You got to have that mentality of a number 10, bro. Baggios and players like that. They will do those type of passes for players to run onto, and it makes the job easier. They either can pass the ball across the box or just finish it from there and hit the bottom corner. You know what I mean? They could do things like that. And he doesn't do that, man. And I worry about him because I think we're asking for too much, in my opinion. I don't think he's that type of player, I think because Hungary don't have that much talent, somebody has to stand that. Do you get what I'm saying? Does that make sense?
Yeah, 100%. And I think he looked better. Tell me if I'm wrong. In when he played against Arsenal in a deeper role because he could cover a lot more ground in the defensive part of it, and majority of the game, it's the ball is in front of him. He doesn't have to pick up the ball. I think it was Jones that was picking up the ball from the defenders and what have you, where he would, especially when we lost the ball, he would come and cover. He can cover ground quickly. This is what he's good at, and he can cover and press really well on the blind side of players. But yeah, as you said, he does. If you watch him carefully, and I suggest the chat carefully watch him how he receives the ball in those in between the lines of the defensive the defensive line and the midfield line on Ipswich, and tell me if he's suited as a number 10, because a number 10 will be easily receiving on a half turn and bam, we're on attack. Exactly like Elliot receives the ball. Elliot receives the ball and he's straight away facing the goal the way he receives it. But supposedly he receives it and then his back is to goal. He either has to go backwards or dribble his way through people in order to face the goal. So that's the issue with him.
Just read the messages, bro. So I think that's about it, really. Like, we're looking at the tactical side of the game. I don't expect Trent to invert in this game. I'm hoping he ain't, because I think in the last game, like me and Nurubi talked about, he had no choice because he didn't spend a lot of time with the players, so he had to play the old way. So hopefully Trent will go back to his normal role and let McAllister and Soboslai, players like that, and Salah and Diaz create the chances for the likes of Jota, and that's what all I want to see. I don't need them. I want them to go back to what they were before, which is running up and down that pitch. Sometimes coming in, getting the cross to the far post like Trent used to when he used to come over here. Whip the ball in. Always a danger. You know what I mean? When you're doing things like that, the most dangerous place that you could put a ball is between the goalkeeper and the defense. And it could be either be an own goal or someone's gonna come in and tap it in. You know what I mean? This is what we don't do that anymore, bro. We really don't do that anymore. Exactly. That's what I want to see again. Yeah, bro. Let's just read the final messages and we're off, ski, man. I think there's a few new people that's come on, obviously.
I appreciate that,
yeah, obviously.
Steve.
Go on.
Steve says Gravenberch can play emergency number 6 role against weak teams. Everton, Spurs, Newcastle. Against top teams, he will struggle, because they're going to be putting a lot more pressure in that area. So 2-3 people will probably be on his every touch, so he needs to fix up quite quick. Scottish Bear says selling Clark was insane, and for 10 million is clearly a desperation move for money. The one will bite us on the long run. The only issue I would have with that is I think there's a buyback option there if we do really need him back. But they didn't put the thing is they didn't put a buyback option on Carvalho, but they did on Clark. So it tells me that they really rate Clark and expect him to have a really good season. And even Pep Lijnders going after him tells you that maybe he is quite rated. I haven't watched a lot of him, to be honest. Just here and there when he was coming on last season, but yeah, he looks like a player.
He's good under pressure. That's what I like about him. When I watch him, he doesn't lose the ball that much. Like when people put pressure on him.
Yeah, and he's definitely a player that thinks outside the box. Some of his passing that I saw was not an obvious pass, but kind of like a Thiago reverse pass where he's not looking, but passing into players' feet. Ravi says, thoughts on Harvey Elliott? How does he be a mainstay in the team? For me, I would say if Harvey Elliott was to be a mainstay of the team, he needs to develop his game kind of like the way Odegaard developed his game. When he first came into Arsenal, he wasn't setting the world alight, but he's actually learned to be comfortable with that ball and dictate the pace of the game rather than him being flustered or listening to or trying to look. For me, he looks for Salah a little bit too much, and he needs to come away from just looking for Salah all the time. He needs to become his own man and do what the right decision is rather than just catering to Mo Salah, because it's going to be tough as a young player. Mo Salah calling for the ball and you don't give it to him, he's going to give you a bollocking.
They'll give you that look, innit, man? That look,
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
yeah. We've all played in it. Like when you're
Yeah.
the new guy or the young guy.
Oh man, I used
And
to
if you
battle
don't-
my brother and even Dominic, the boy I had on here before. I used to battle him when I was a kid, man.
That's it. It's all about confidence. You need to be confident in your ability in it. So, and own any mistake that you do. Like if I don't pass to Mo Salah and I lose it, then I'll be like, yeah, my bad. But you just have to forget about it and go again.
Yeah.
I expect a 3-0 today. I expect a win as well, to be honest.
Yeah.
And
Big up.
says I'm here in bed watching Fozy. I'm leaving for him. Big up.
Big up Norm, man. It's Norm. His name is Norm. I met him outside the stadium, man. It was weird, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's good though. It's good to see him. Nice guy.
Alexander says thoughts on the sale of Fabio. Are they regretting it a bit? What do you think, Foles?
100% they regret it because they expected that finance to be part of the deal for Zubimendi, and now that failed. They've lost a player.
Tough, yeah, tough. That is tough. Same, yeah, man. Steve, some of our sponsors are not exactly pure. True.
Especially.
Thoughts on how long Darwin and Diaz will be at the club? Nunes, to be honest, he has to have a really good season this year.
Yeah.
If he doesn't, we've got to without abusing the player, but we've got to maybe try and move on. He's a likable guy. He works hard. I love that enthusiasm. I love to play with someone like him because he never gives up. He's always there. Whatever madness he does, he's still there to do it again. And you gotta like that. But at the same time, Liverpool Football Club, you need to be of a standard.
Yeah.
As I said, football should be ruthless. You need to be the best of the best. And if you're not, you have to be on your way. And the last comment I can see on the agreed on the Szoboszlai thing. Yeah, thank you. Green Solo.
He's got one more, I think. We should utilize Pep Linders more regarding sending youth to Salzburg, the Liverpool link. I think Liverpool have too many links now. I think of that. I think like now we've got Bournemouth. You know what I mean? We're trying to go people to them. And people forget, we've got AC Milan, Redbird. I mean, Redbird own AC Milan, and Redbird are part of FSG's, stakeholders or something, isn't it? Like something.
Yeah.
Lines. They got share, I think, with FSG. So
Yeah,
we've got multiple clubs out there. The players who got alone.
Yeah, I was hoping that we did a deal with the Red Bull teams, but I think they've gone and they've bought a stake in Leeds. So
look at that.
They will have like a little conveyor belt between those three clubs.
100%, bro. Guys, that's the end. Let me just read Ravi's last one. What about Diaz? Will he go to Barca? I think he'll go eventually, bro. There's too much conversation around this, and I'm tired of it, really. I don't know about you, Nurbiz, but when Diaz arrived at Liverpool, the first few months, I think a lot of fans said he will end up probably in Spain eventually. I was one of them. The way you can see it straight away. Some players are gonna force that move eventually. So, yeah. But guys, honestly, thank you for today, man. Nurbiz, you want to say something or before we go?
No, thank you guys for having me back. It's been a while. Appreciated all the comments, all the people that speaking me up and remembering that I was once here. Appreciate it, humbled, and also raring to go, give you guys some more content, and here to grow with you guys, become a big family, man. The LRFC family is growing, is getting better, and hopefully we have great people like you guys supporting us, and we'll support you back.
I appreciate everybody, man. You don't know how much this means to us. You know what I mean? We're true footballing people. You know what I mean? And your support means a lot, man. Fair enough. He says, "Good morning, guys. Have a good sleep." Thank you, man. Because it is the morning. To be fair, big up Alexandra as well. We're always supportive, especially with other Liverpool content creators as well. All of you guys, man. Norm, obviously Solo, Ravi, Steve, Peter Toll. Even though we disagree, always, you know, here supporting Anfield as well. Remember you from, you know, Frank Carlisle's show. Richard's always here supportive. No, hang on. I think there was an Everton fan. I forgot, but yeah, I think it disappeared. There was an Everton fan actually here that helps us out sometimes. He comes and winds us up as well.
Big up,
you know?
big up, man. Yeah, big up.
And
Man.
obviously you got Scottish Bear, man, and he always, you know, compliments us as well, Scottish Bear, bro, and other channels, bro. And yeah, bro. They're brilliant people, man. Absolutely
That's
brilliant
it.
people.
That's
Like I always
that's
say.
the kind of...
You got carry, bro.
No, go on, go on.
I was gonna say, like I always say, please hit that subscription button, notification button, like button. We will be back, you know, after the game, hopefully tomorrow in the evening with the panel. If I get back, I don't know. Maybe Nuribits will take over. I don't know. We have to wait and see.
Yeah.
We'll try to get some more people in here and have a you know, hopefully celebrate a win. What's the score prediction, man? Before we go,
I'm going with a 2-0 Liverpool.
Yeah, I think we will concede, man. We're just bad at it. I think it's 2-1. 2-1. We win, but it's 2-1. But yeah, we have to win. Man United have won today, so we have to win, man. Yeah.
Yeah.
100%. All right, guys. We'll be back hopefully tomorrow. If not tomorrow, we'll come back on Sunday doing a obviously review show. So please, yeah, do that great stuff. Like, share, subscribe. We'll see you soon. 1 minute, yeah, bro. Don't go anywhere. Take care,
no
everybody.
problem.
Take care.
Big up, guys.